Good morning. The public's trust in our financial regulators is shaken. Earlier this year, a CFPB employee made an unauthorized transfer of records containing personally identifiable information and confidential supervisory information. Director Chopra, your agency subsequently tried to downplay this major data breach. We recently found out the OCC hired a fraud who repeatedly lied about his workplace experience to lead its Office of Financial Technology. The OCC also tried to sweep this incident under the rug. Finally, we are all aware of the allegations of widespread and entrenched workplace misconduct at the FDIC. These allegations directly implicate Chair Grunberg and span his almost 20-year tenure as leader of the agency. As CFPB director, you have a seat on the FDIC board, where you have made your presence known from the ouster of former FDIC Chair McWilliams to the March bank failures and the subsequent weeks of action thereafter. Well, in other words, you know what the heck is going on at the FDIC. Director Chopra, this committee is interested in hearing what you knew about the allegations when you knew it, and any actions you have taken to remedy this unacceptable situation. This string of scandals has left many, including myself, questioning whether these agencies are up to the task of protecting consumers and ensuring the safety and soundness of our financial system. When you're not dealing with internal mismanagement, the Biden administration supposedly has independent financial regulators that are busy serving as political actors for the administration. Director Chopra, your leadership is a glaring example of this alarming trend, becoming a hyper-partisan agency doing the bidding of the White House rather than protecting American consumers. That's much more about election year politics than about what is right for consumers. The ongoing barrage of press releases from the CFPB is misleading at best. They too often paint with a broad brush to vilify entire sectors of the financial services industry and even the U.S. financial system as a whole, rather than targeting independent bad actors. To make matters worse, where the Biden administration doesn't have the authority or votes in Congress to make a change, the CFPB under your leadership simply forges ahead and works unchecked. One need only look at your small business data collection rulemaking. The 1071 rule goes well beyond the CFPB's statutory authority to require the collection and reporting of onerous amounts of information in an attempt to facilitate the naming and shaming of lenders whose business activities are unfavorable to progressive activists. That's why House Republicans will pass a resolution this week to protect small businesses' access to affordable credit by rescinding the burdensome and overly complex rule. But I'd like to close on an area where I believe we've found some agreement, and that is a good thing. And that's on your work on the 1033 data privacy proposal. We've talked about this in private. To be clear, I think it's far from perfect, what you've proposed, but I believe there's common ground between your proposal and the Data Privacy Act that this committee passed earlier this year. We agree on the core of the issue. Americans should have greater control over their sensitive financial data. Consumers should know where their data is going, how it's used, and be able to terminate collection of their data by certain firms. To ensure our data privacy policy is not subject to the whims of any administration, I believe it's critical that we make law here, not just regulation, though your regulation is a good step. I hope we can work constructively on this issue moving forward so Americans' financial data privacy is protected for the long term. And with that, I yield back.